There you go.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the
There's a roll call. 5 members are present. Next item up, consider approving the minutes held on June 24th.
I'll make a motion.
Motion's been made, second by Mr. Nutting. All in favor? Next item up, Kelly, you'd like to introduce the young lady from First Park.
Yes, Christine Logan is here. She joined First Park as the executive director January 1st, 2026, and she hit the ground running. So I thought it'd be nice to introduce her to the council and share her vision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me tonight. And I'll just going to spend a little bit of time sharing a little bit about myself and my background, and then mostly about what the plans are that myself and the General Assembly have for First Park moving forward. I am excited to be here and in this region and community because I haven't spent a ton of time up here, and the more in the last 6 months that I've explored this area, it's fantastic. So I'm excited to be able to be promoting it in the terms of attracting businesses to First Park. My background prior to coming to First Park, I was the executive director of the Midcoast Regional Redevelopment Authority, and we were redeveloping the former Naval Air Station in Brunswick. And prior to that, I worked for the state's Department of Economic and Community Development as well as government account executives, working with businesses in York, Cumberland, Saginaw County. So it's always more south in that area, and really just working with businesses to help them find the resources they need to get from where they are to where they want to be. And so that's a little bit about my background. I really enjoy economic development. The piece of it that I enjoy most is the collaboration. I don't think anything develops on its own in a silo, and it takes a village. And so our village and the people that I've been working with since I've been here and that I've worked with in the past are a lot of our trade organizations, state partners, regional partners, and our federal partners as well. And so when I look at the park, we've been spending the last 6 months kind of myself learning about the park, learning its infrastructure, learning what the good uses are for things that we may not want to have in the park, working with the town. Kelly's been awesome. Boyd's been great to work with. Nate's been great to work with. So I've got a really warm welcome with lots of information. So I've been just absorbing and learning and listening, meeting with the businesses that are currently located in the park. A lot of healthcare, some IT, obviously T-Mobile. And as I've talked with the businesses there and met with them, I've learned that they're all doing really well. And that was really nice to hear. They're expanding. Many of the eye doctors adding a new eye doctor. Dentist, Anna O'Keefe is adding a dentist and adding to their practice. The IT team just added 2 new people. And Dirigo Wealth Management just added 3 new people. So the park is vibrant. It's a beautiful place. It has all of its infrastructure in. The landscaping we've beefed up a little bit. So I think visually it looks good. The health of the park in terms of the businesses that are there are really good. And so our job and my job is to let everybody know that and then try to attract really good businesses that will benefit the region. A little bit about what we're going to be targeting. And these industries or these businesses sort of came from our conversations with folks in the park, as well as regionally what's needed. And so a daycare is something that we're going to be looking into. Housing is going to be something that's looked to. There's 2 lots further back in the park that abut other housing, which could be really good lots for adding additional housing. Somewhere to eat. There's a lot of people in the park who would like somewhere to eat. And I know there's a lot of places around. So we'll be looking for something along those lines. And then manufacturing, IT, biotech, a really growing industry that we'd like to see. Industrial condos is something that we've been hearing a lot about, and that's kind of the future of what people want for businesses in terms of they can have a little bit of business in the front and then have a loading dock and some manufacturing space in the back that's smaller. I kind of think of it as like the mullet of businesses, if you know, I thought business really fun in the back. And so so that's kind of the things that we'll be focused on, and we'll be updating our website, and we hope that will launch at the end of August or early September. So check us out then. And the other piece is the TIF. You have that Oakland has a TIF in place on that site. And right now that is going to expire in 2031, in June of 2031. And so we're in the process of working with, it is your TIF. So we're working with Kelly and her team on amending the current TIF and leaving the properties that have been developed in that current TIF and creating a new TIF that will include all the properties that have not been developed yet. And then there'll be another 30-year TIF on that. And the TIF kind of shelters the valuation that has for Oakland. And so by doing that, it saves the town from having to pay higher, extra taxes for schools, the county tax. So
State valuation, it's all sheltered. Yes.
What's a TIF?
I will give my quick answer, and then if anybody wants to add on. So it's a tax increment financing. It's basically a tool that will take a boundary around a designated piece of property or land. Sometimes it's like a dilapidated shopping mall or something that some kind of blight condition. And it will say all of the taxes that are generated in here as it's developed get put back into the project or split with the town sometimes. And that's always negotiable how much, but it's a place where you can take the taxes and reinvest them. Usually goes sometimes back to the developer to help make a place that's not so nice.
Thank you.
We have a
I don't know.
downtown TIF now. It just launched a facade program. We awarded $25,000 to 3 businesses along Main Street to do improvements to their storefronts. So Mainly Docks was one, Central Main Foot Care, and HB Insurance is the third one. So we're going to do that each year. We do have one credit enhancement agreement where Sunrise Bagel is 20. That's where they pay their taxes and then we refund them so they can reinvest in the building.
It's a good tool for a place that's not generating any taxes at the moment and incentivizing somebody to go in and then sharing with them the benefit of them.
And we have to split this with 24 communities.
Yeah.
At First Park, that's how it was originally. We have a 99-year agreement, interlocal agreement with 24 communities that bought into First Park back in 2001. So it'll be good. We'd be silly not.
Thank you, Mel.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Christine.
And also, we're always open for ideas or thoughts, input about the park. So Kelly knows how to get in touch with me if anybody has any ideas they want to share. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, sign the April field commitment.
Yes, we were able to commit the sewer for April, May, June, totaling $152,404.98. So there's signatures on that.
By the time that anybody mess with.
I know. I'll let you talk.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Perfect timing. They've been sitting waiting, just waiting for you.
It's like, so quiet.
They're signing. They're signing.
And we switched the room, I think.
Yeah.
Next up is accepting donation for the library summer reading program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we received a $1,000 donation from the Waterville Area Women's Club. And they usually prefer for us, or they advise us to use it towards children's programming for the summer. So that's our plan. We usually have money, we usually have their donation. We apply for it every year. We usually get it every year. And so this money will be for next year. Keep it in the, so we're using last year's money for this year and this year's money for next year.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's very nice.
Motion to accept.
Sue, seconded by Dana, all in favor?
Thank you.
That was fast.
That was easy.
Next up is a motion for legal.
Yes, so on our tax anticipation note, I gave you all a copy of the proposed motion or proposed vote that they would like to see done tonight so that we can close tomorrow. So I don't think I need to read all of this.
No, I make a motion we accept the terms of this tax anticipation note. Motion made, seconded by Sue, all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you. Mobile home park ordinance. This is the second reading. Date is here, but if you look on page 4, section 5, I know that was a bit confusing for some, whether it was a new one, an old one, an existing one. So we put the word new, so subdivision permit requirement for new mobile home parks. And then section C, new mobile home park design criteria, because most are grandfathered, the ones we have. And then under minimum premises size, we changed it to 15 acres, and I'd like to add comply with state of Maine guidelines, which is, I think I gave you all copies of this. Under Maine state law, the minimum lot size for a mobile home park depends entirely on the type of wastewater and sewage disposal used for the site. Municipalities cannot require lot sizes larger than these state-defined maximums. So public sewers, a maximum lot size cannot exceed 6,500 square feet for the smallest permitted residential lot in town. Individual on-site septic, maximum lot size cannot exceed 20,000 square feet. Central on-site septic, maximum lot size cannot exceed 12,000 square feet. And while state law regulates the maximum a town can force a park to require, towns often use these exact caps as their minimum standards for the park approvals. So we can either just put comply with state of Maine guidelines, or we can actually add this language in number 1.
What about number 4? Way up where it says. It's kind of doing this on the fly, but it says that lots of 20,000 square feet. If you think the only thing that needs to be changed is C1, correct?
That's what we discussed at the last meeting.
Okay.
Maybe you recall talking about.
You had the notes from the meeting, but it was a concern of the 25 acres. 15 acres to put in there. I personally think that it should say comply to state guidelines and have the verbiage that Kelly just read that says for centralized system 12,000 square feet for 2,6,500 square feet. The 20,000 square feet, Bob, is subsurface wastewater disposal minimum guidelines for a septic system on a single lot.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes on it before.
I know that was a concern.
Kelly, did you have a chance to check with Nate about, under section 4A1 about the application for the permits? Coming due in January when it's pretty hard to inspect the parks if you got a lot of
Yes.
snow. Well, usually like the junkyard permits, you always go and inspect them about a month ahead
September.
so that we know what they look like when we go to vote on them. I was wondering if this date ought to be changed to a date when you can get around to look at them and.
So we had talked about that and said November or May, so that there's no snow. And he'll be able to.
November or May, even though, if we wanted to keep it a date to January, I have a pretty good idea what they look like. It's not like,
Lots of times on the junkyards, there's
Yeah.
a little cleanup work they have to do or something before you go back and give them a final one before we vote. So I just wondered if it would be easier for you to
either way,
have a different time.
either way.
It's up to you. I don't care if you have to wade through snow to do it.
Either way, it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't matter to me if we keep it in January, or we move it to November or May, it doesn't matter, it's whatever you guys decide.
I would recommend we go with November, and I'm also gonna recommend that we add this to section 4, page 4, section 5, C1, and have a third reading at the August 12th council meeting.
I'll make a motion. We accept those two suggestions and have another reading.
Do we want to do anything with number 4?
That was going to be I think we should be discussing number 4 because if it's going to be at odds with the new language that we are introducing, we can't be
So mobile home.
contradicting
So
ourselves.
number 4 says layout, mobile home park shall be laid out so that those areas will be served by both public water and sewer, can be readily be converted to a conventional subdivision or of privately owned single-family lots of 20,000 square feet.
Maybe the layout can get completely excited if that's the case.
Well, on second thought, so we're talking about, should they be, privately owned? So I think, or is only applicable should they decide to distribute those privately owned lots as opposed to the new language, so it may not be contradiction. I think we're okay. I just wanted to make sure we discuss that to make sure we're clear.
Yeah. So I'll leave that at 20,000 square feet. You good with that, Nate?
Yeah, I think it doesn't say it has to be, it's just, But yes, it doesn't matter, it's just in case the park wants to sell. If the park does want to sell individual lots, they don't have to be 20,000 square feet. So either way, the planning board meeting, that discussion would show up somewhere and say, okay, are your plans ever to like sell off these as individual lots? If so, minimum guidelines, state subsurface wastewater is 20,000 square feet per lot.
Perfect, and then you have the groundwork already set. so you
Yeah.
have to Go back to the work again.
Sure.
Yep.
So motion was made. Do we have a second by Sue? Second by Sue, all in favor? For a third reading on. Thank you. Ellen?
A lot of updates tonight. The guardrail installation was successful. AJ's crew was able to extend the guardrail out here to the corner. We've had 3 people fall off the curb or trip on the rocks, so we decided to make it so that nobody could climb over the rocks anymore. And we painted the curb yellow, so we should be good there. The ATV trail work, we did receive a $63,000 ATV municipal grant that you accepted at the last meeting. Major work has been done, 10 lot from Pleasant Street to 10 lots. The last week of June and the first week of July, I'd like to thank Angela, Zach, and Caston Jurdak, Jeff Hall, Jason and Tabitha Lostrom, CJ Scammon, and Heather Miller. There are dedicated volunteers. They put in over 209 hours since April, picking up spikes, installing trail signs, grading, York raking, running a forestry mulcher, doing business and resident outreach, and getting our brand new section ready to ride. And there's been a nice little area cleaned out with some Adirondack chairs, and Bigfoot is on the trail now. So, thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Our boat launch at Waterfront Park is making great progress. We might be even a little ahead of schedule, but I don't want to jinx it. Our crew should be able to go in the next week or two to do the pavement work and the parking lot work. So Manters, they're doing a great job. The Citizens Initiative petition for the lot rent stabilization ordinance. The petition was handed in plenty of time. We had 3 people in the office verify the signatures. They needed 375 and 380 were validated. So that question will be added to the November ballot, whether or not the town of Oakland wants to do a lot rent stabilization ordinance or not. So forward to that. We do have some upcoming nominations, 1 council member, 3 budget advisory, and 1 school board. August 5th, nomination papers will be ready for people to take out. They'll need to collect a minimum of 25 registered Oakland voters for signatures, no more than 100. And papers are due back to Kathy, our town clerk, on September 14th. Anybody's interested and want to learn more, come see me. I'll chat it up with you. I've started a policy review committee. After looking through our policies, a lot of them haven't been updated 15, 20 years. It's time. We were at our safety committee meeting, which is pretty much department heads. And then we decided to do a little subcommittee off of that. I know Sheila's on it, Rick's on it. I think there's 6 or 8 of us. So we're going to try to do 3 policies a quarter. Many haven't been done in 20 years. I will bring the final updates to the council when they're complete. They'll all be housed on our website under the employee portal at the bottom. We've been uploading stuff and documents there for employees. Hopefully we'll have to remind them that they're there, but we're going to start with our purchasing policy, our hearing policy, because I think the decimals have changed. The requirements have changed from our old to what Department of Labor states now, and our ethics policy. So stay tuned on that. I talked with the assessor today, the revaluation. Hopefully, they're going to be sending out preliminary letters to residents, hopefully by the end of next week. That'll say, this was your previous valuation, here's your new valuation. If there's an issue, you want to talk with somebody, you go see the assessor. We're hoping to commit taxes by August 18th with the first payment, first installment. We're still doing 4 installments. First installment payment being due September 30th. And Bob Matthew, our 26-year town employee, announced his retirement, and his last day will be July 30th. We wish him well. We got a couple goodies for him. And he's got one for parties. So I said, Jeff, buy him some pizzas. So they're going to have lunch with the garage. So if year round. Stop and see him, but he's on vacation this week. So. The Oakland's Lions Club donated a load of pea stone for the waterfront park. AJ's crew and Prudy spread it and it looks amazing. So that was before and that's after. And that's down at the waterfront park. So that was a very nice donation from the Lions Club. And Main Redevelopment Land Bank, Cascade Mill, we met again on July 15th. They will be added to the council agenda probably in September or October to kind of talk next steps. They're going to let me know when. I'm also working on submitting a CDS proposal to the Kennebec Valley Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which is through KV-COG. I have to present a proposal and then be added to their list. So I'm working on that. I'm working on letters of support to clean up the woolen mill and get grant funding so that taxpayers don't pay for that. And lastly, there was an article in the Morning Sentinel on 7/7 titled Oakland Counselor Flags Conflict of Interest Over Police Cruiser Repair. I received a letter from the shop manager at Perks Auto last week with a check for $308.40. And the letter reads, "To whom it may concern, I am writing today to apologize for my lack of knowledge around the town charter policies. It has been brought to my attention that the owner of the company that I'm employed through, Perks Automotive Repair, is not supposed to profit from any work done on town vehicles or equipment. Being the office manager, I should have dived deeper into the rules surrounding his position and the effects it would have on the business aspect. We recently repaired an Oakland Police Department vehicle with a total bill of $1,032.27. A check from the town of Oakland has already been issued and cashed. However, invoice 5175 has been broken down and the balance of company profit has been deducted. I am attaching a check for the balance difference in the amount of $308.40, which is the total profit made by Perks Auto Repair on this job. The office will cover the mechanic's hourly wage for the 2.5 hours of labor as a donation to the town. I hope this clears any ripple that my ignorance may have created, and thank you for your understanding regarding this matter. Michael Murray, shop manager." So just want to let you know, he did that on his own goodwill, and yeah. Thanks for the donation, Mike. That's all I have.
Kelly, do you have anything?
I do. I'm just following up on the mobile home park on High Street, who sent residents letters about raising their rent. Was he informed that we're in a moratorium and that?
He was, but remember we did the moratorium for $450 or more. He was at 400. I did speak with him at length for probably 40 minutes the other day. I said, "You're putting everyone in a very sticky situation because you did a 60-day notice on July, whatever, for $100 increase per month starting September 1st. I said the new state law goes into effect July 27th. You have to give a 90-day notice and it can't be more than CPI plus 1%. He's like, "Well, I didn't know about that." Like, okay. So we talked. I recommended he go talk to his lawyer. I said, "Can you just run this by your lawyer? Because technically the law's not in effect yet. And he's not going up till September 1st when our moratorium's over." Like, it's just, messy. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. I'm just gonna call his lawyer and just kind of. Yeah,
Nothing else? So. No.
Kelly, the state's done a lot of work this summer on the Belgrade Road and Smithfield Road, nice and smooth now, but Pleasant Street from the corner here to the corner store is pretty rough, and I don't know, Mike, you've driven bus there for years, that washboardy part up by the corner store, how many years has that been like that?
About 23.
23, I know it's a long time, but it's really rough just before you get there, so, you know,
I know Rice.
maybe not to
Rice-
criticize them after all the nice hot top they put on the Belgrade and Smithfield Road, but bug them again about that, which I know you've been after them before.
I even think our guys could do some of that before school starts. Like we just did, Rice Rips is done.
Yeah,
Um,
but that needs more than hot top. That's gonna
That
be
needs
dug out.
dug
The dirt underneath is what's causing that. It's not good gravel underneath is what's causing it. So it needs to be dug up and, you know, put a foundation under that piece of road. But for some reason, the whole road right from the corner here is rough. Like the wheel ruts are worn out on it for some reason.
yeah. I will talk with John.
That's all I did.
We have a connection at DOT, so.
Well, I'm gonna follow up on that. I've had numerous calls from people up on High Street and Smithfield Road where they have paved and pavement looks beautiful, but they got a 5-inch lip to get out of the driveway. And some of them, go ahead, Nate.
That's pipe.
I spoke with a gentleman today from DOT to DOT. The second guy I spoke with, stated that a hand crew has gone out, so when they pave, they'll have the feather in the driveways. I currently own a home here in Oakland that has that same exact 8-inch drop. And they did the one on one side of that driveway, one on the other, but they didn't do that one, and I was wondering why. So I did call them today and received a phone call back. Some of those are dirt driveways. Those dirt driveways need gravel filled before they're not gonna put 8 or 9 inches of hot top in there. They'll put their 4-inch thin shim. So they have to bring gravel in for
So
those.
they are gonna do that.
They said within a week or two. They will do that.
I got some notes for you too. I had a couple calls too about, right over here, somebody's pushing dirt. And it looks like it's going down into the stream down in here.
Yeah.
I called Boyd today but then I had 2 more phone calls after that.
So that would definitely fall into my jurisdiction. And I was there today with Laura Bowler this morning. So I knew about it yesterday.
DEP is aware.
Yeah, DEP. I was sorry, Laura Bowler, DEP.
Folks on 70, at least 75 feet, silk fence.
25 feet, 70. Yeah, they have a voluntary compliance agreement right now with DEP Purple. Yeah. That's not good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more thing, Richard Principato brought this sign into the office. It says veteran priority parking provided by BMWED of IBT Armed Forces Council. Thank you for your service. It's a parking sign that we would like to put at the town office beside the handicap spot.
I'd make a motion, we do that.
Motion made, seconded by Sue All.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we paint the parking space that green color too, just to make it stand out? Like the handicap one has a handicap spot in the,
Right,
on the pavement.
not an American flag.
Yeah, or a Maryland. I don't know if I want to drive on it.
I was gonna say.
That would be good. Thank you. That would be good.
Military green.
Yeah. So.
It's anybody but the Navy, right?
If we put veteran
Joey Lucas.
in
Wow.
the
Yeah.
then that would handle all of the.
Way to go. So that's all for now, folks, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for coming.
Ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do that from the floor? Two unrelated. So there has been a lot of social media conversation on that there are discussions to privatize the transfer station. And I wonder if you could tell us what that is all about.
I have talked with Municipal Waste Hub.
out of Hamden. They just invested a ton of money on a sorter from Germany, I think it came from. They're up and running. They passed all preliminary runs or whatever. They haven't come up with a final decision yet. We've been talking for 2 years. They sent one of their guys up to measure something, and he pretty much said, "Oh, and we're gonna be running this place." So they let the cat out of the bag. We were told, "Don't say a word. This is kind of an NDA situation until we're ready." We still don't have a decision yet.
So
What
would
it-
they own it or would they
No,
just
no.
operate it?
They would be the so this is what we're envisioning. They would become our operator. They would keep all the same employees. They would just now be municipal waste hub employees. Paid the same benefits, same insurance, everything. Because, and then other commercial haulers, we would be a hub to we would be a spoke to their hub. They own all their trucking. We wouldn't have to pay for trucking, which is $250,000 a year. We were actually over by $35,000 last year in trucking. We would have to pay tipping only on Oakland trash. They would redesign, they would probably invest about $1.5 million into the facility to make it flow better and have like commercial area versus a residential drop area. They would operate 7 days a week, but nothing would change for the residents. We would be Wednesday through Sunday, 9 to 4.
We still have our bulk areas.
You would still have your bulk area. They will not touch our landfill. We will keep ownership of that. They won't be allowed to put anything in the landfill. Probably Public Works would go up twice a week, 3 times a week or whatever for an hour and haul the bulky out back into the landfill. But the connection with MRC, Municipal Waste Hub, there's opportunity there. They would pay us a royalty on non-Oakland trash. And we have a 12,000 ton, I think it was $265,000 a year to be the operator. And then anything over 12,000 tons, we would get $5 a ton. Which
So other communities.
adds up quickly. Yes,
So
possibly.
busier.
It would be busier. One of the issues we did encounter, we don't want them coming down High Street and jake breaking the whole way. So we would send them down the town farm road to Route 11 and then come this way to hit the interstate. It's 2 minutes longer. It's the end of the town farm road. There's about 0.8 of a mile from Route 11 to kind of where Jan Porter lives. It's up past my house. That never got rebuilt when the town farm road got redone. So we had SW Cole go out and do boring samples, and we would lose the road very quickly if they started hauling trucks. So right now, I've asked them to go halves with us on rebuilding the road before Jeff Hall retires, because our guys can do it for probably $500,000. An outside company could do it for like $1.5 million, So I'd rather have our guys do it than an outside source. We're waiting on that decision right now. Right now, I guess the CEO couldn't make a meeting and he's the final decision, but everybody else was on board with it. But we're not going to sign anything or do anything right away. We're going to have public input.
Okay.
We're going to have them come down, explain the situation. 100% of our stuff will be recycled.
Yeah.
Like, look up Municipal Waste Hub, and they have a lot of videos and stuff on their sorter and kind of what their mission is.
Okay.
And I mean, I think a lot of our stuff shouldn't be going in the landfill, but
And then one other, was on the conversations on the AI data centers.
yeah.
What is that all about?
Katie Cog gave me a flyer on moratoriums.
Mhm.
And I shared it with the council, and then all of a sudden Oakland wants data centers. So I have no idea where that came from. I know Dana said, well, we'd want to hear more about it. You know, they're all shapes and sizes. Yes, some are good, some are bad, there's so many different types that.
And this would be something that would go to referendum or public conversation, or if you got to that. Okay.
Garvin, do you want to add anything about data centers, maybe? From Central Maine Growth Council? Okay.
Can't hear you, guys.
Yeah. Gordon Nuggets of Frank Grove Castle. Kelly, thank you for the data center question. I think Kelly's point, a lot of different data centers are occurring throughout the country right now. And you're seeing different states have different policies, so really case by case makes sense. And it's probably fair to say, underscore Kelly's point, public's gonna get a bite of the apple, given all Maine communities strong goal in terms of permitting, energy use, anything big, any community, you're gonna see coming a lot way. It's gonna be highly regulated, and it's likely gonna have significant permitting with Army Corps of Engineers, MDEP. So
Zero tax breaks.
there's the rules and the regulations are in place. It is probably fair to say throughout the country, not we'll see these type of offers coming and going. They will be some small, some big. So I appreciate the kind of the popular sentiment. So anything else other than
Yeah, I mean,
communities are dealing with this differently.
Yeah.
Every community.
it was a very informative flyer that KB Cog put together. I shared it with them, and it ended up blowing up.
Quick question from this was big cost things, great.
Yeah.
What probably the ballpark figure where we're at about it, how far away we are from actually doing a real serious talking about this thing?
I'd say we're probably 3 months, 4 months.
That close.
I've been working on this for 2 years. So yes, there's been conversations. What it would look like, I mean, they're expanding, they're putting spokes all around the state. They only work with municipalities and they work for the municipalities. So eventually, when they're 100% up and running, they're going to be, right now, all our stuff gets hauled to Crossroads in Norfolk. It's gonna go to Hamden. So they have members, municipal members that make up this municipal waste hub. So, yeah.
It's different from when we've had in Bassett. There's a low.
What's that?
We were in the waste one up in Warrington or whatever, that, I don't know how much we paid on that, but what did we get out of that?
I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
We had the one, was it in Warrington?
Yeah,
We were in
this is the same plant, only all new equipment. That one shut down.
COVID.
Well, it was a perfect storm. They were getting a new operator about the time that COVID struck. So the new operator couldn't house their people in Bangor. The motels and the hotels are all closed. They couldn't feed them. The restaurants were closed. So that fell through. Plus, they were waiting to get a sales contract for the final product looked like ground up egg cartons. And it was a pulp fiber that was sort of a byproduct. And they were waiting, I think, for like a year to get permission to sell that. They just got permission to sell it in Canada. Some company wanted the fiber up there. Couldn't truck it to Canada. So that's what shut the plant down when it shut down.
But weren't we involved in it for like 10 years before that?
We've been involved in it,
The COVID 6 years ago. Right?
yeah, it operated for 3 or 4 years or so, something like that. But it never got up to selling all their product because they took so long to get permission to sell it. And it just,
I'm just worried about this one being the same one. It sounds great, but then it's
Well,
gonna fizzle out. We're gonna be.
at the time, when it was running before, they got up to 50% recycling. So every pound that went up there, 50% of it was sold as a product, plastic, tin, paper. And they didn't get the cogen part of it going with the biomass stuff to make power. They got a setup to do that. So about when time COVID struck them, and that just shut them down. And it's been since then, they've torn out all the old equipment. As I say, they were recycling 50% at the time. So this new equipment, and I don't know if they've got an estimate of how much of what we take there will be recycled. And even when the other one recycling 50%, a lot of towns were taking out the good stuff like we do, the cardboard, the plastic, and I don't know what we're getting for them right now. We were getting $200 a ton for the cardboard a while ago, and number 2 plastic was pretty good, and that's why it was worth collecting them, because rather than paying $90 a ton to take it to the landfill, we were getting money for it. So whether we will continue to recycle or not, I guess it's in our future to decide, because that's going to be
Done up there.
recycled when it gets there.
Another thing too, our infrastructure's old. Our balers are tired. Our scale is hanging on by a thread. We keep fixing it, but
And
we're gonna have to do some major investment in the transfer station in the next, within 5 years, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Kelly didn't go into one of the best parts of it is a huge chunk coming out of our transfer station budget.
Yeah, so right now the transfer station budget is about $765,000. So right now we would have to pay MRC $265. And then we would have to keep some money set aside for all our landfill testing with DOT or DEP. I figured maybe it's 50,000-60,000. So we'd save $300,000 or $400,000 right off the top.
Got questions to follow up with what you just said.
Yeah.
You figured, I know preliminary numbers, but again, we're saying $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Where's that $300,000 to $400,000 gonna go?
Well, this year it will go to fix the road, the town farm road, if we move forward with this. Next year, it will just come off the budget. And we'll only budget for what we need for the landfill and what we need to pay them as the operator.
So as a resident, we could actually look forward to that, to seeing a drop in property tax.
Well, we are in a reval, so
No, I mean,
can't promise. We'll try.
the same is transfer,
Municipal spending will go down.
therefore it should translate to reduction in property taxes.
Valuations are going up.
Other things might go up at the time, you don't know, but we do anticipate a portion of the budget being less than it is now, George.
Transfer station budget will be.
But this is still not a done deal. I mean, it's still up in the air how it's gonna work exactly, and whether or not.
They haven't done it anywhere else. They don't know what it looks like yet.
Yeah.
Even a lower, actually it comes back down.
Yeah, so.
They have really good investors. They have good equipment. I don't know. It's something to think about, I guess. And there'll be more to come.
Yeah.
So,
With that being said, at this time, I'd like to enter into executive session. Time now 6:05. I need a motion to go. Motion, second, all in favor? Time now 6:50. Thank you folks for coming. Have a great night.